Many months ago, when Vanessa first arrived at the compound, nobody expected her to cause any trouble. Actually, nobody expected anything new at all. This was a place where news traveled faster than electricity. If someone sneezed in room 2, by the time they grab a tissue, someone in room 5 would already shout bless you. Vanessa arrived with a big suitcase. Her face looked like it had no time for nonsense, small talk or unnecessary noise. She greeted everyone politely on the first day. Good evening, ma. Good evening, sir. She smiled, unpacked her things carefully, and quietly shut her door. That simple act sparked curiosity faster than anything else. By the second day, Mama Funke, the oldest and busiest neighbor in terms of gossip, leaned over her balcony and whispered to someone in the next floor. Hmm, she's too quiet though. Nobody is that quiet unless they are planning something. Chika, the loud and confident woman who considered herself the compound's unofficial social secretary, laughed softly. Exactly. Calm people are always hiding something. What's this one now? She will shock us soon. Meanwhile, Vanessa had no idea that by simply staying polite and quiet, she had already become the main topic of three different corners of the compound. Evenings in the compound were sacred for the women. They would gather outside with plastic chairs, discussing everything with an intensity usually reserved for national news. Who had visitors? Whose husband came home late? Who bought new clothes? Who failed to greet properly? Chika, being naturally loud and confident, had assumed the role of leader without anyone giving her a title. One evening, she waved at Vanessa. Vanessa, come sit with us. Vanessa came outside, stood politely for a moment, and said softly, thank you, but I avoid drama. I'll stay inside. A heavy silence followed. Our Funke blinked in confusion. Drama? We're not fighting, oh. Chika laughed lightly. Maybe she thinks we are jobless. Vanessa smiled gently. No, I just prefer my own space. And with that, she returned to her apartment, shutting the door quietly behind her. From that day on, the compound watched Vanessa with new intensity. If she came home early from work, someone would whisper, has she closed already? If she dressed nicely, someone would ask, who is she even dressing for? If she ordered delivery, someone would murmur, ah, another delivery. She has money, oh. Vanessa ignored it. She worked at a small private company. She left early and returned tired. She cooked and slept. On Sundays, she went to church and came back quietly. The more quiet she became, the more neighbors tried to engage her. One afternoon, Chika knocked on Vanessa's door while smiling mischievously. Please, can I borrow your broom? She asked. Vanessa gave her the broom. The next day she came again. Do you have salt? Vanessa handed salt to her without saying any word. The third day, Chika came again, this time leaning slightly. Neighbor, can I come inside your house for a bit? My light went off. Vanessa smiled politely. I'm about to sleep. Chika waited, hoping for an invitation that never came. From that day, she concluded that Vanessa was proud and a snob. Months passed. Vanessa quietly saved money. She avoided birthday contribution, naming ceremonies, and other compound activities. When gossip started around her, she would smile and gently say, I don't know about that, before excusing herself. But real trouble, as life loves to do, found its way in. It started with Vanessa's new cooking pan. She had been saving for a good quality pan, the kind that wouldn't stick. For months, she had resisted buying snacks, skipping small luxuries, counting her money carefully, and finally, she bought it and returned home proudly, holding it like a treasure. She unpacked it carefully, placed it on the gas, and admired it. The next evening, she decided to try a new recipe she had been excited about: native rice with palm oil and smoked fish. She heated oil, arranged her ingredients, and began cooking carefully. Everything was fine until the pan slipped slightly as she tried to stir the onions in a pan. Oil splashed. One slice flew across the kitchen and hit the wall. Vanessa screamed. Chika, what happened to the passing by, froze. Then she grinned mischievously. She pulled out her phone and pressed record. Meanwhile, Vanessa was trying to save her pan. Then she tripped slightly and ended up slipping across the floor that left her sauce scattered everywhere. She managed to grab the pan upright, but a little bit of oil had landed on her clothes. The compound, of course, erupted into laughter. Children ran around laughing and pointing fingers, while Mama Funke covered her mouth, trying not to laugh but failing. Vanessa, soaked in oil and frustration, quietly walked back into her room, leaving behind a trail of chaos and a video that Chika immediately sent to the compound WhatsApp group with a caption, "Warrior princess of our time," laughing emoji. Messages poured in immediately. Is this not Vanessa? I never knew she can fight like this, so kitchen WWE champion. Meanwhile, inside her room, Vanessa stared at her pan while cleaning it carefully, not knowing that her identity had been reshaped into entertainment. When she checked her phone later, dozens of messages and missed calls waited like a swarm of angry bees. She looked very confused while staring at it. Right there, she saw more WhatsApp messages, Instagram reels of her, and Facebook notification. Even the compound WhatsApp group had blown up. Someone had sent her the video again, captured, "Beautiful lady turns to lion over a frying pan," laughing emoji. Hashtag kitchen WWE. Hashtag Vanessa the warrior princess. Vanessa froze. Her heart raced. She scrolled up. Comments streamed in like a river. "Nothing you won't tell me. This lady gets anger issues. People who say they hate drama are always the drama queen." She sat upright. Her hands shook. This wasn't just the compound anymore. The video was everywhere. Even her university group chat had forwarded it. A small panic rose. She has never felt this exposed in her life. It wasn't just embarrassment. Her name, her face, her calm reputation, all had been twisted into a laughingstock. Vanessa's first instinct was to hide. She didn't want to answer messages. She didn't want to leave her room. She didn't even want anyone to see her for fear of judgment. But reality hit hard. Hiding wouldn't make it go away. She had to act. Later that evening, the compound, of course, did not let her forget. Children ran behind her when she came out to fetch water, shouting, "Anti-warrior princess! Anti-warrior princess!" Just then, Mama Funke greeted her with a sly smile. "Good evening, Madam Champion." "Evening," Vanessa said while walking away. At work, the humiliation was worse. Her colleague Aisha peeked over her desk. "Vanessa, did you see yourself online?" Vanessa swallowed hard. "Yes," she said quietly. Another colleague whispered from behind, trying not to laugh. "Kitchen WWE, yeah? You sleep like a pro." Vanessa felt her face burn. She clenched her fists, took a deep breath, and said calmly, "I will address it." Aisha blinked. "Address it, K." "Yes," Vanessa said firmly. "I'm not going to be made a joke." That evening, she left work feeling exhausted but determined. She knew something important. People were laughing at a story that wasn't the full truth, and she would make sure they saw the whole truth. When she got to the compound, Chika waved at her from her veranda. "Welcome, Vanessa. How are you doing?" Vanessa didn't smile. She simply nodded. "Fine." Then she went inside, locked the door, and stared at her reflection. "You can't stay quiet this time," she whispered to herself. "You need to take control." That night, fortunately for Vanessa, a neighbor who felt bad for her sent her the original video. She sat down while watching it, and then she realized the full truth. The pan had indeed slipped. The children had shouted before she reacted. She had tried to steady it. The chaos had been blown out of proportion. Her calm identity had been edited out, leaving only drama for entertainment. This was her first deep realization. People don't care about the truth. They only share stories that entertain. If she wanted her dignity back, she would have to tell her story herself. Immediately, she wrote her first post attached with the original video. She typed carefully, each word deliberate. Yesterday, my frying pan caused chaos in my kitchen. Yes, I slipped. Yes, it looked dramatic. But here is the truth. I was careful. The children were safe and no one was hurt. The edited video made it look worse than it was. Mistakes happen to everyone and it's okay to laugh. But let's not forget the context. She paused. She didn't want to sound only defensive but equally honest. Then she posted it. The response came immediately. Some laughed, but this time the laughter was tempered with respect. People who shared the original video privately messaged her. A comment said, "Oh, okay, now I see the full thing." Another said, "Thanks for explaining. I didn't know it was like that." A message came in. "You handled this so well, calm but clear." Even her colleagues at work messaged immediately. "Wow, you actually own it, respect." Another said, "I was laughing before, but now I understand." Vanessa felt a small sense of relief, but she knew the work wasn't done. The internet didn't forget quickly. She would have to stay consistent. Calmness alone wouldn't erase viral fame, but careful, deliberate action could reclaim her narrative. 2 weeks after the infamous frying pan video went viral, Vanessa had quietly rebuilt her image, correcting misconceptions and showing her calm, composed self to everyone around her. Chika, however, had not learned. She still tried small stunts in the compound, still whispered stories to neighbors, still hoped for new content. At first, Chika found this frustrating. Nobody laughed at her jokes anymore. The compound's WhatsApp group barely responded when she posted new clips or comments. Slowly, a small but powerful shift began to happen. The world was no longer interested in Chika's video. One morning, Chika decided to record a minor mishap. A bucket of water had poured over near the corridor entrance. She thought it would make a funny video like the frying pan incident. She whispered to herself, "Let's see if she freaks out again this time." Immediately, Vanessa walked past carrying groceries. She noticed the water pot simply moved around, picked up a mop and cleaned the spill quickly without saying a word. Chika's phone shook in her hand as she watched Vanessa's calm efficiency. She thought, surely this will be boring. But here's what happened. Another neighbor who Chika didn't notice stood behind her and started recording Chika trying to sneak footage. In the background, Chika slipped slightly on the wet floor and fell. Her wig flew off. Her dramatic attempt to recover it only made her look clumsy. The new clip went viral almost instantly, and the caption, "Who did this skit go fall inside?" Laughing emoji. Hashtag the fallen hero. By afternoon, everyone in the compound, WhatsApp groups, and social media were sharing it. The joke had shifted, the tables had turned. Vanessa, of course, didn't post it herself. She just smiled quietly, knowing the universe had a sense of humor. At work the next morning, the story was already beginning to unfold. Vanessa's supervisor called her into his office. "Vanessa," he said, "I hope you saw what's happening online." Vanessa took a deep breath. "Yes, sir, I saw it." Her supervisor leaned back. "I want to commend you. You've handled yourself with professionalism since the frying pan incident. Calm, honest, strategic. You did what most people would panic over. And now, we are considering you for a higher role in public relations. You will represent the company publicly." Vanessa's chest tightened, her jaw stiffened with a quiet smile. "Thank you, sir. I'll do my best." And right there, her promotion was not just a reward, it was recognition of her ability to navigate chaos, handle public perception, and maintain dignity under pressure. Her role changed quickly. She was in charge of public campaigns, representing her company on social media and leading communication strategies. The promotion came with recognition, responsibility, and most importantly, influence. Her colleagues who had once seized her now looked at her for guidance. People asked for ideas on handling viral incidents, online reputation, and calm crisis management. Vanessa had not just survived embarrassment, she had turned it into power. One Saturday afternoon, Vanessa sat on her balcony with a cup of tea. The sun was hot, the breeze mild. A message came in. She looked at her phone immediately. Chika had sent a message. You were too calm. How did you do it? Vanessa smiled faintly. She typed a reply. Calm isn't about hiding or avoiding. It's about seeing clearly, choosing wisely, and acting intentionally. Everything else is noise. And then she sent it. For the first time in months, she felt complete relief. The compound continued with its chatter. The children ran around, neighbors laughed, life moved in a chaotic rhythm. But Vanessa had learned the ultimate lesson. Humility, patience, and calmness are stronger than any viral moment. And when chaos tried to define her, she had defined herself instead. She sipped her tea and whispered softly, the game is not about who laughs first, it's about who wins in the end. And this time, Vanessa had won. Thank you for watching this story. Kindly tell me your thoughts and lessons in the comment section. Do well to like and share with your loved ones. Don't forget, every life is a diary. See you in the next story.